Shalom, 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 my sisters and brothers. Shalom, 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 my sisters and brothers. Shalom, my sisters and brothers in the faith. Today is the Sabbath. This is the day that the Lord has made. This is the day that the Lord has made. We have a lot to unpack today. And so I'm gonna get right with it. First, I'm gonna give yourself a round of applause. Yeah, give yourself another round of applause because I appreciate everybody. I love everybody for participating, looking, reading, studying their Bible as they supposed to. Because we know we are in the end game. We are in the end game, just like the Marvel movie. We are in the end game. End game. So let me start off by telling you what happened. First, yeah, this is the court of law. This is the court of law that Yahqua has put upon us. This is the curses that he put upon us, and which the church is not talking about. But I'm here to give you the information, real time, books, and in the Bible, all connected. All connected. Well, here in Jacksonville, I'm pretty sure it's happening all over the world. Me and my grandson, we was doing a yard on the east side. And I said, man, let me ride you around and show you how Esau is taking over. I said, we used to stay over here. I said, and it was totally different. I said, I'm going to show you what Esau is doing, because if anybody live in Jacksonville, if you ride down Main Street, when you get to a certain point on Main Street, it started changing, right? So I took him in the middle of East Side, and I showed him the houses that they are putting up that's worth $500,000 now. These big old luxurious homes they build. It's like the old style home where they brand new, they built a big 2-story home, sitting right next to a home that was built way, way back when I was a kid, that the value is worth $85,000. And they putting them all over the place in the east side, because they get ready to they're building the stadium. They're putting a new soccer field. They're building the streets. They're building a 5-star hotel. They want to run them people out of there, right? So what they're doing is, now the $85,000 house, the property tax is so high that they can't afford it. So the indigenous people of that neighborhood is getting ran out because they can't afford to keep the house, because the $500,000 house is next to the $85,000 house. So the taxes is going up. And not only is that, Mayor Donna Diggins and her $2 billion bill, her budget for the city, she got a property tax hike. And I seen the interview where they were talking to some older women, and the lady like she wanted to cry, because she knows she about to lose her home, because they finna raise the taxes, and then they building these houses in the neighborhoods where you at, and jacking the price up. And a prime example, if you know Turtle Creek, I know a lot of us know Turtle Creek. Back in the day, it used to be like the rich neighborhood. You move to Turtle Creek, they would consider you well off. You in that neighborhood, right? If you go in Turtle Creek, you turn down Turtle Creek Road. Time you come across the little bridge, it's a house they built on the corner. That house probably worth, say, $400,000, right? But the house in the neighborhood is not worth $400,000, right? So it's built next to the other house. So what they're going to do, the same thing they do on the east side. They're going to jack up the prices of that house next door to it. They not just that one. They got a couple of them in that neighborhood that I see, because I have properties in that neighborhood that I maintain. So I see them, and I know what they're doing. And so what they're doing, they're going to jack them prices up. And the people that are staying in them neighborhoods, you got to remember, right now they're 80 years old. They're older, because we if I'm 56, 59, they in their 80s, because that's when it was all formulated back then. So in the 80s, a lot of people can't afford to have a tax hike, can't have a property tax hike. So what they finna do? So they're going to lose their home, and then you got to look at it. I told you, always recognize infrastructure. When they start doing pipes, water pipes, when they start doing water pipes, if you get ready to go in on Horse Road, you see they adding a bridge there. They're widening it out. They running water lines to it. So That is another sign. It takes time. See, all the older people finna get ready. I'm sorry to say they finna get ready to start dying out because they're in the 80s and 90s. They finna die out. So now the younger people gonna start coming in. They're not gonna care nothing about the house. So they already, the house gonna be like not taken care of. The government gonna take it. So now the whole section start changing. I started seeing Esau walk up and down Harsh Road. They built a brand new fire station. They're getting you ready. So I'm finna go to the Bible and show you that God said this is what's gonna happen. On the east side, on the news yesterday morning, they had, I guess she's the advocate for the east side. She was concerned about the same thing, about the houses where I was telling my grandson about. They were showing the news report. They got an app you can put on your phone, and you can point toward that house and it tell you the value of that house. Well, they showed that value of a house in the east side. Now, you guys understand when I give you these prices, that's considered a lot. $195,000 for them new homes they building. Y'all know the homes they're building on the east side if you live here. They're $195,000. Next to an $85,000 house. So now that property tax on that $85,000 house finna go up, and the people ain't gonna be able to afford it. So they're gonna move. So they add another house on the next side of it. So she concerned about the people when they doing all that building, about the property tax gonna go up because now you finna, everything going up because of the stadium. So now the taxes finna go up and the people finna lose their home. So the indigenous people gonna be lost. Now I'm finna get to it. This is what the Bible says. So I want you to follow along with me and go along with the Bible. Now it's a lot to unpack, but this is what the church, we should be in church learning about educational or property, money, and losses and possession. Well, the Bible tells you about the land, the possession, and the property curses. So I'm going to go through some of the curses with you about the property taxes and all this other stuff that's going on. All not just Jacksonville. I know Jacksonville. I live here, so I know about this. And I'm pretty sure it's happening in other cities too, right? Leviticus 26, 31, 32. And I will make your city waste and bring your sanctuary unto desolation. I will not smell the savor of your sweet odor. 32. And I will bring the land to desolate, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at your land. You moved in these houses on east side or north side. You moved in your neighborhood, and it was your neighborhood. What they're gonna do? They making your land desolate. There's no more fruit trees in your yard. You remember how you used to walk through the neighborhood, be fruit trees? You could grab an apple, you can grab grapes. Now they're very limited to that, and you are losing your everything. Your city become waste. Your city is our neighborhood. It become waste. Downtown by the stadium, all that's gonna be pushed away. So where are these people gonna go? So they lose. It was all prophesied in the Bible. This is part of your curse. So all this is prophesied. So now you're losing all your areas. They're being changed. Where are you gonna go next? They're gonna push you away. They're pushing you off to nowhere. So all you're gonna be crowded in one spot by the time they get through. And these things take time. I got a book I'm gonna read to you at the end of this to further illustrate what's happening. The government is involved in this. The FHA is involved with this. Your city councilman is involved with this. The same people that you elect is involved with. They know this. Why not the city councilman that look like me and you having meetings telling you about what they're doing? They having meeting about nonsense. They ain't having a meeting about this. I'm finna keep going. Your land is gone. What your mama used to own, they're taking away from you. And then what they're doing, your enemy is astonished at it. They're looking at you like, yeah, we got you. Everything your parents worked for is finna be going down the drain. And they're doing it right underneath your feet. And there's no help for us but through the Bible to come back to the Most High. The people who you vote in office, people, I'm telling you, they're not your friends. You got all these so-called seniority groups, women and men. Where are they giving class to tell you about taxes and property, what's going on in your land, about what's going on in your neighborhood. They so busy, all they want to do is party and flaunt them signs, these devil worshiping signs. This is a pyramid. These devil worshiping signs that you see the artists do. Now just look around. All the seniority doing that, the Mason, the Deltas, the fraternity groups, all of them worship the devil. They don't care nothing about you. Everything they do is for show. Everything they do is for show. They would die for that Greek god that is the Grecian, which is Esau, which is condemning your people. Deuteronomy 28:16. Cursed shall thou be in the city. In your city, you curse. You can't tell me we ain't curse. Every day on the news this week, we killing each other. We getting shot. They shooting in drive by all of. I'm specifically in Jacksonville, so I know it's happening in your places. Forest Street, the East Side. Every day this week, they've been showing a killing. Or they arresting somebody who killed somebody 2 years ago. It's us. We cursed in the city. Nobody else is like that. We curse. We losing property. We losing land. We have no possessions. We have no stores, no nothing. And we've been here all your life in Jacksonville, and you own nothing. You go to on 8th Street on Murray Avenue. They got an old Arab store right there on the corner. They got another Arab store right there when you get ready to go into what we used to call what the name of that Blodgett Home. All that's right there. So now they got these stores in your neighborhood, and guess what? They get rich, but your neighborhood look like crap. How your neighborhood look like crap? And these people living in Audis. They got cars. They got foreign cars. You've been here living on the east side, living on 8th Street, living on Murray Avenue, living on Moncrief, 50, 60 years. You have no stores. Everything that's on there is owned by other people or other nations. You mean to tell me out of 60, 70, 100 years and you own nothing? It's all a curse from God using Esau to implement the plan and using our own people to implement the plan. Because guess what? You will vote city councilman based on, because a lot of them went to school with them. We grew up in the neighborhood with them. But they get in their office and like a father be there, not a son in there. And guess what? They care nothing for you because guess what? They can't do anything. That's why they can't come to have town hall meetings about what's going on in your neighborhood. They can't do none of that stuff. I'm going to give a prime like the Gaffneys. The Gaffney, that was a well-oiled machine. Started from Don. Don used to be our football coach at Rebo. He was my substitute teacher. You start from him all the way to Gaffney Jr. right now. It's a whole line of Gaffney. Now you got Gaffney Jr. in there. The whole family are served on the board. And your neighborhood look like crap. Ain't nothing they do. They pay the road, but you don't see no growth in your neighborhood. Dunn's Avenue, that's the Gaffney. That's been the Gaffney for years. The only thing they did is pay the road. And what they doing now, they built that new fire station. That's to run you off. I'm just saying. And curse shall there be in the field. You have no crop. We have no natural food now. We don't even know what we're eating right now. We got to pray to God and hope this food it's killing us. It's a curse. You have no farmland. No land to grow anything on now. So when they build a house so close together, now you can't grow nothing. Now they got ordinance that when you are not allowed to grow certain so many pots of fruit or whatever. We are under a curse. We are under a curse. Let me get through this if I can get through the books. Deuteronomy 28, 18 through 24. Cursed shall be the fruit of their body. The fruit of your body is our children. They are cursed. I'm using these areas because I know these areas and this is my town. So I know that it's other parts of the world that you know that it's your town. Like I'm using this example because I live here and just right up and down Dunn's Avenue. You see this, it's a hotel on Hoss Road that should be condemned and closed down. Used to be back in the days, it was nice, Best Western. Back then in the late 80s, early 90s, they were considered like high class hotels. Now they done changed, and they got like a sheet and had the name wrote on the sheet for like a sign. These people from India with the dots are in that neighborhood, and all these crackheads, everybody on drugs, they stay in a little Days Inn. Right on Hoss Road, when Hoss Road used to be like the cream of the crop. You stayed in Turtle Creek, you knew, what they call Bluegill, you knew that was sweet land. Look at it now. It's cursed. It's cursed with our people because God said it shall be cursed. These are things that God said shall happen to us, and they happen. Not just done east side. Wherever we at, it's a cursed land. We try to move where they at to get away from our own people because they know the land is cursed. And your fruit is cursed. Them your kids that you see are shooting up everybody in the neighborhood. Drive-by shooting. They had a shooting, just all this happened in this week. They had a shooting where a guy, they shot 10 rounds in his house. Shot a guy in the leg. The other people didn't get killed or get wounded. We have shootings everywhere. Now our young people just shooting. That's the fruit of your body, man. Sir. They're my kids. They're my sons and my daughters. And the fruit of that land, the increase of their kind, the flock of their sheep. That means there's no increase. We don't have no cows, no sheep, no buffaloes, no nothing. We cannot survive if they shut all the stores down because we have nothing to eat. Our whole life depends on your every breath that you take. Depends on them because they are our enemy. I know God gave you the breath, but God said you're under a curse in this earth. So everything you do on this earth while we're in this curse depends on them. You cannot move without them. Think about that. You cannot move without them because you own nothing. If they came and take everything away, you'll be naked. Your wealth, you'll be naked in wealth. You'll be naked in health. You'll be naked in clothes. You have to get them driver license, social security number, birth certificate. You even got to get a death certificate. You can't even die without getting a certificate. They own you because God said we are cursed because we are stiff-necked people. The Lord, this is verse 24, the Lord shall make the rain of that land powder, and dust from heaven shall come down upon thee until they'll be destroyed. You have no land. The land will be tilted so hard that you can't do it because guess what? They can't even let it rest like it's supposed to. To the land, we're eating human and made and digital food right now. I just showed my grandson natural orange bread. The bread don't even taste the same, man. It's like I can pull it, but it's stretched, but it won't tear. I didn't try. I said, let me get the cheap brand. It seems like the cheap brand, that little cheap brand, because they know everybody want to buy the expensive brand. But I bought that cheap brand. It's soft and it feels like real bread. But that expensive brand, because they know that black people especially, they know that we kind of like, I buy Dove, I buy this. But it really, it's the worst brand because they know you're going to buy it because you're materialistic. Deuteronomy 38, 28, 38, 40. Deuteronomy 28, verse 38, all the way to 40. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field instead of gather but little in. That means that we don't have a field. We ain't got no seed to carry to the field now to plant it. Because if it's in the farmers right here, it's very little black farmer. Less than 1% of the world is a black farmer. Because that God has put a curse upon us, and then the government, God made the land so hard that the farmer need money from the government, but the so-called Esau is getting all the government funds. Then you ain't see that? Esau getting all the government funds to sustain his farm, but they're not giving none of the government funds or the grants to the so-called to the blacks. This is a curse. God had already predicted that. For the locust shall consume it. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, dress them, but shall neither drink of the wine nor gather the grape. God, this goes into no land. All this going into no land. You're planting for them doing slavery, but you didn't get none of it. So if you take it right now, you have no land. We have no possession. This is a curse that we are upon them. In verse 40, thou shalt have olive trees throughout all the coast, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with thy oil, for thy oil shall cast its fruit. That means the trees, what's going to happen is the trees is going to start shedding before time, because the season is screwed up. You'll start seeing like trees are supposed to be dying is trying to grow. The trees that's trying to grow should be dying. So we are in that curse of the part. Now go to Deuteronomy 28:42. All the trees and fruit of that land shall be locusts consumed. They're going to eat up everything. I remember when I was a kid, we used to walk through the neighborhood. The reason why we didn't go in the house to eat, because we didn't worry about eating. We would grab blackberry, red berries. We would grab dates off the tree. Japanese plum, pears, apples. We can eat. We can be all right. You remember when we used to grow up, you used to eat the little we call dog weed. You chewing the dog weed, get the sweet off of it, dog piss on it. You know what I'm saying? We lived the best. We was able to do it without coming in the house. We didn't want to come inside the house. You came and got the house. That was like a punishment. Now you tell them inside the house, it's like they joyful because they can play on the games, control the mind. Go to Malachi 6:15. Malachi 6:15. No, Micah 6:15. Thou shalt sow, but thou shalt not weep. Thou shalt tread the olive, but thou shalt not anoint thee with oil. Sweet wine, but shall not drink wine. Basically, that's just saying all this going to be. We have nothing. We have nothing. God is a curse on the land. And to the house is taking our taxes, and they said we have lost over $1 billion worth of wealth, a generation of wealth through the housing market, through the years. I'm gonna get to it. This is called Black American history, and it breaks down different things that they are doing to us in Black history since the beginning. It breaks it all the way down. Right now, I was reading this the other day, and it all matched up with my sermon or my teaching about land, possession, and property curse. Now check this out. This is called this is basically like your black wealth prevention. Black wealth prevention. Okay. Why? To deny home equity and guarantee financial inequality by regulating blacks to a tenant class, helping to assign a badge or inferiority to black skin. Who? Government agency? Fraction of white conspiracy? Category. Black wealth prevention status is still in effect. Check this out. From 1825 to 1857, they've been doing this. They've been orchestrating how not to let you buy a house, how not to let you get property. All this is in the Bible. New York, Seneca Village was a prosperous, predominantly black enclave until jealous white used eminent domain. Eminent domain is when the government can come in and say, I need this land. And Seneca Valley is Central Park, which they flooded out to move you out of there. That's how evil the people are. So what they're doing now, they're taking your land through property. But they were doing this back then through forcing you out through intimate domain. Okay. And that was Central Park. And there was a bunch of other cities that they did like that. It wasn't just Greenwood, Texas. It wasn't just that. The massacre, when they bombed their place, it wasn't just the place in St. Louis. It was all over the world where they would come and destroy our land by force. But it's a curse from God that you should have your land destroyed and you won't have no property, no possession. It's a curse from God. I'm just reading this book to show you that God meant business. I just read you everything that happened. It's a curse unto you for your land, your fruit, all your houses. God already cursed. And the book just verified what the Bible says. Okay. 400 years in big cities greeted income black, white, state-sponsored system of segregation implemented through predominantly lending practices. In 1934, the United States government established FHA, which was complicit in providing affordable housing to whites, middle class, and lower class, while redirecting black masses into housing projects in ghettos. This is what they did to us, people. And this would all involve the government, like the city councilman, they doing the vote of your property tax. So they gave them housing, but they put us into ghettos and areas that was that nobody wanted to live in. This is a statement. The segregation of our metropolitan area today leads to stagnant equality because families are much less able to upward mobility. When they live in segregated neighborhoods where opportunity is absent, he said, if we wanted greater equality in this society, if we wanted a lower and hostility between police and young African American, we need to take steps in desegregation. This whole book is stating what the Bible is stating about how they're taking our land. Decades preventing blacks from profiting from real estate has a profound impact. While most blacks were denied loans to buy or repair homes, the majority of middle-class white families gained their wealth from home equity. Today, Black American income on an average is about 60% of average white income. Black American control less than 5% of the wealth, while white American control 90%. The huge difference between a 60% income ratio and a 5% wealth ratio is almost entirely attributed to racial federal housing policy implemented through the 20th century. Black Americans missed out on billions in home equity and were denied generational wealth due to FHA discriminatory lending restriction from 1934 until 1968. The Bible concurs with Black American history. The Bible concurs with Black American history. This is us. This is us going through it all the way. And see, check this out. Amos 8 and 11. The reason why I wrote everything down, but I hope you took the time to write these scriptures down because I knew it was going to be kind of long. So I'm kind of going straight through it, but I got it on notes, and these are scriptures that I'm actually reading. Everything I write, everything I teach, I've got it on notes. That's why when I leave here, whoever comes in this room, it's going to be notes, books, everywhere. Amos 8:11. Behold, the day comes, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, and not famine with bread, nor a thirst for water, but out of hearing the word of God, hearing the word of the Lord. It won't be with food. Of course, the food and water coming, but it won't be, this knowledge won't be existing no more. Because they're getting rid of they're getting rid of your First Amendment. Kurt It's an introduction to get rid of your First Amendment, because if they can fire people in that kind of status, what they're gonna do to you when you try to speak out? They finna get rid of your First Amendment. You won't have the right, so we won't be able to teach you, because this part of your First Amendment right. So this gonna be taken away from you. While we out here partying and juking and jiving, they people are writing laws right before your eyes. You just going on half guilty, don't know nothing to it. It hit you. When it hit you, then you're gonna be looking for the word of the Lord, and it won't be, because it's gonna be a famine in the land. Romans 13:11. And that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. You know, back in the day, they said, "Oh, y'all, we've been saying that for years, that it was at the end." Then God said, "It's nearer than what you believe now." You can see this. It's time to wake up out of sleep. You got to get out of this slumber. And that's where we are. Look at our people when you walk down the streets. I love the JUDAN Avenue because I build it all the time. I got a lot of property over there that I cut. So I see these people just walking up and down the street. And, you know, it's lost. It's like a slumber. And you can understand that some of the people can't handle the pressure. That's why they on different drugs. They're trying to sleep it off, but you can't. As soon as you wake up, you it's right there in front of you. So you take some more pills and you go to sleep. It's right there in front of you. Not necessarily just sleep, but you out of your mind. So God says, time you wake up out of slumber. That's what he's talking about. Hosea 4:2. By swearing, in lying, in killing, in stealing, in committing adultery, they'll break out, and blood touches blood. That's why we're killing each other. That's why blood touches blood. Because all this right here, you're not following the laws. So we're killing each other in our own neighborhoods, own city, own street, drive-bys, people in the house sleep, they shooting in there. They don't care if a kid or nothing in there. We're doing this to ourselves because we won't follow the law, statute, and commandment. Ezekiel 7:23. Make a change, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence. That's us. Bloody crimes, and our city is full of violence because we disobey the law, statute, commandment. You can't tell me this don't fit us. I know it's hard. You can't tell me this stuff don't fit us. It fit us to the T. Galatians 4:26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. Jerusalem is our home, people. So we're not at rest here because it's not our home. Our home is Jerusalem. We got other nations in our home. But God said that until the days of the Gentile be fulfilled. So they over there now. The Gentiles over there now destroying that land. It has to be fulfilled. That was a prophecy that Jesus made himself in Luke. That it has to be fulfilled. So they're on our land. They have to destroy it. And then when God come back, God said he's going to take us back to our own land. So-called Christians believe in the rapture. Well, that is I don't know how to say it. They believe in the rapture, but it's not called a rapture. But God going to take us to our own land. Revelation 1:3. Blessed is that he that readeth, they that hear the word of this people, and keep thou which are within therein, for thou time is at hand. God said, read this Bible, read books, and the time is at hand. You can see everything getting near because everything has happened with thus said the Bible has said. Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. Isaiah is backing up. Isaiah was first. Now Revelation is just confirming what Isaiah said. Because Isaiah is a future prophecy. And his prophecy is that we must read the Bible in order for us to get understanding. John 18:56. As soon then as he had said unto them, I am he, they went backwards and fell to the ground. Jesus Christ himself. when they asked Jesus, who is he? He said, I am he. And they fell to the ground just off his voice alone. So just believe in Yahweh, believe in him, trust in him, and we can get through the power is in the name. It's literally in his name. When he said, I am he, they fell back. Why the church will never tell you that God's voice was so powerful? So how you kind of dumb it down, black men, because they know black men is gods on earth. So that's why they tell you, be quiet, be quiet. So they got men talking with soft voices. So now when you get into a confrontation, you see the police say, oh, why you talking so loud? Why you aggressive? Because we got God's spirit in us. So when we talk, it got force to it. We got God's spirit in us. So when we talk, the force come out. You guess that. Go read John 18, 5 and 6. 18, 5 and 6 and see how much power you got is in your voice. That's why they try to silence you. That's why they don't want to hear you, because you got too much power and they can feel it in their bones. I'm going to tell you this one story. They did a test. It was at Ivory College. And they had a meeting table. And they had, I think it was 12 white guys. And they had the monitors hooked to the heart. The monitors hooked to the heart. So you can monitor your heart. And a black man walked in, all of them things went off the chart. That's how much they feel you. But they don't feel you in a drunken state. They feel you when you read and do the laws of God. Shalom, my people. Shalom. Shalom, my people. Give yourself a round of applause. Shalom.